Let's try this again. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's so great to see everyone out today to help us celebrate our 13th annual Building Momentum Breakfast. Thank you. My name is Elijah Evans, he, him pronouns. For the last 6 years, I've served as the executive director of Bikes Not Bombs, a 39-year-old organization using the bicycle as a vehicle for social change. I'm proud to say that this is my 20th year with the organization. Over the years, I've helped foster the incredible growth of Bikes Not Bombs, and at the same time, Bikes Not Bombs has been so instrumental to my own journey as a leader. I grew up in Boston and participated in the medical program, where I had access to a great education in Brookline, but often felt torn between two really different communities. I didn't realize it then, but I was in search of a community that welcomed me for who I am. I found exactly that when I enrolled in Bikes Not Bombs' Earn a Bike program at the age of 14. Over 5 weeks, with the help of staff and peers, I built up an orange mongoose and earned it at the end of the program. I took that bike everywhere across the city. It was really the first time I felt free and independent. 1 year after completing the program and doing some volunteering, I landed my first job ever. Growing up with mentors like our founders, Carl Kurtz and Mira Brown, I developed a deep commitment to social and environmental justice, which even today informs my leadership style and my decision making. I also learned some hard lessons. In fact, I remember one time working in the bike shop, I messed up a customer's cantilever brakes, and it was so bad that they had to bring it back. Maybe also that wasn't the first time that happened. So Carl, the founder and my manager at the time, not only made me fix those brakes, but he had me fix every other cantilever brake on the floor in the shop that day. That's Carl, someone just said. Best believe I never made that mistake again. And now I kind of like working on cantilever brakes. It's kind of funny how that works. I really just needed to take the time to practice, and to be honest, I also needed some accountability. It's a hard lesson, but definitely an important one. Developing a skill takes practice. Working at Bikes Not Bombs has given me a sense of purpose and a community of people with whom I share values. I was supported by a dedicated staff who took the time to get to know me as a person. They helped me to navigate challenges and to discover my strengths. I learned 3 main things about myself: that I love teaching, that even the smallest actions can have a big impact, and that by working together in solidarity, we can create a better world for us all. I went on to become a teacher and Teach for America, and am so honored now to be back at Bikes Not Bombs, creating opportunities for young adults, like the same opportunities I had for them to discover their strengths and chart a course for their futures. Through Bikes Not Bombs' 3-year Youth Pathways program, youth are hired for a job and they gain so much more. They benefit from one-on-one career coaching and support. They build critical skills that prepare them for success in the long term. They emerge with a sense of confidence and the determination to achieve their goals. Today, you're going to see that in so many ways. Now, before we move forward in the program, we'd like to acknowledge some key members of our community in this room that has helped us advance our mission over the last 39 years. Raise your hand if you have ever donated a bike to Bikes Not Bombs. Take a look around the room. Raise your hand if you've helped us load a container to be shipped overseas. A lot of hands. Raise your hand if you've completed a bike school program at Bikes Not Bombs. Raise your hand if you've ever shopped as a customer in our bike shop. Nice, thank you. Raise your hand if you volunteered your time at Bikes Not Bombs. Thank you. Two more. Raise your hand if you've made a donation to Bikes Not Bombs. Thank you. And finally, raise your hand if you've ever worked at Bikes Not Bombs. Thank you. As you can see, there's so many ways to get involved with our work, and that's what makes us unique. Simply put, none of this work would be possible without the dedicated community that we have of staff, youth, volunteers, board members, donors, funders, and supporters like you. Each year for the breakfast, we create a token of our appreciation out of recycled bicycle parts. And this year, you'll find on your table a keychain made out of recycled bicycle chains. Please take one with you. We want to thank ZoomX, an amazing organization in East Boston, for their support with audio engineering. To Peter Cheung, who's helping us videotape our program this morning. And to James Wang, I don't see him. James, there we go, James. He's taking some amazing photos. Our next speakers are Lindsay Briggs and Gary Chin. Each year, Lindsay and Gary collaborate to produce a short video for the Building Momentum Breakfast, which we'll share in a moment. Lindsay Briggs, the founder and chief storyteller at Social U Digital, has worked with us over the past few years to really capture, through storytelling, the depth and the breadth of our work. Gary Chin is the director of community engagement at Bikes Not Bombs, which among many things includes managing communications and leading programs that are the initial point of contact for the members of our community. Gary also happens to have a background in filmmaking and uses these unique skills to help shine a light on the amazing work that happens at Bikes Not Bombs every day. Without further ado, Lindsay and Gary, come on.
Good morning. Good morning. It's nice and full in here, so I think that's a good thing. Yes, let's clap for that. So it's so good to see all of your faces for yet another year with this great organization, Bikes Not Bombs, for the Building Momentum Breakfast. My name, like Elijah said, my name is Lindsay Briggs. I am the founder and chief storyteller of Social U Digital. I've had the pleasure of working with this great organization for the past consecutive 5 years, and for the last 3, collaborating so smoothly with Gary. Each production and short film peels back a new discovery about the active mission, passion, and impact Bikes Not Bombs continues to provide. Bikes Not Bombs initiatives about accessibility, mentorship, and a sense of belonging extends beyond race, social status, and age. I have quickly learned and am always reminded about the importance of inclusion when I interview and hear the stories of Bikes Not Bombs employees and affiliates. Using the bicycle as a vehicle for social change, Bikes Not Bombs continues to positively cultivate community within Boston, at the hub and at the Roxbury location, and really all Massachusetts as well as internationally. This year, we took a deeper look at the organization's growth and ascension through the lens of one person, Susan Fabijanek. A person once said, "What makes the best PR is what others say about you, not what you say about yourself." I find it powerful when Susan spoke about her own personal transformation through her life-changing leadership and collaboration experiences at Bikes Not Bombs during different seasons of her life. It was further profound to hear these truths echo through the voices of fellow mechanics, youth apprentices, the BOCA program, and all of you who make up Bikes Not Bombs, the exemplary organization that it is.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gary Chin, and I serve as the Director of Community Engagement with Bikes Not Bombs. And as Lindsay mentioned, I have had the privilege of working with her and her team at Social U Digital to tell the story of Bikes Not Bombs' impact in the form of a documentary video each year. This year's video features Susan Fabijanek, a current repair and refurbish mechanic with the organization. And Susan started their Bikes Not Bombs journey as an Earn a Bike participant. And after graduating from the program, Susan spent a year working as a youth apprentice. They helped teach bike school and advanced mechanics before attending UMass Boston, graduating in 2022 with a degree in mathematics. And they were hired this past winter as a shop mechanic. This video takes a closer look at Susan's involvement with Bikes Not Bombs over the years, the organization's mission, and the reach we have in our communities using the bicycle as a vehicle for social change. Please kick back and enjoy.
My first introduction with Bikes Not Bombs was the Earn a Bike program. I don't even remember how I found it, but I was like, I would love to learn bike mechanics and get a bike at the end. That sounds amazing. And I did that the summer in between my junior and senior year of high school, so that was like 2017. And I loved it. I really, really enjoyed it. Immediately after that program ended, I became a youth apprentice. And I was a youth apprentice for the entirety of my senior year of high school. And then I stopped working at Bikes Not Bombs at the end of my senior year because I was going off to college and I wanted to have time to kind of, transition there. And I got my bachelor's in mathematics at UMass Boston, and I'm going for that master's, not sure where yet, but I have a bit of a gap year going on right now, so I was like, I need a job, and I love Bikes Not Bombs, so seems like a great fit. The positive experience I had as a youth really was like, brought me back, and I'm really glad I made that choice. Bikes Not Bombs, I think, really helped me come at it from their level. Like, I remember, being tired after school and like I'm coming to Bikes Not Bombs, like it's hard to like learn after you've done a full day of learning. So kind of having been in their shoes, you don't know what's happening outside of that space that you're sharing. So it is so important to really come at every interaction, and especially mentorship and leadership interactions with empathy and understanding and respect and patience. Is just like patience and respect, I feel, really go hand in hand. So I think Bikes Not Bombs definitely helped me with that. It's so rewarding. They're so awesome. I'm a shop mechanic, so I don't I'm not technically like a bike school mechanic, but I still, they're around the shop all the time. Some of our third youth work in the shop, and I love them so much. They're awesome. I love interacting with them. It's so, it brings me back, and also like it's just such a good group of kids. So
I feel comfortable, normal. Like, they make us feel accepted, and like we do have a voice. Like, we never have to be afraid that we're gonna get overpowered by someone else that's a male or not African American. I feel safe here. Like, I feel cared for, like protected. Like, I don't know, it's like a family. Like, we're all one.
I've never seen Susan take a tool out of somebody's hand, right? I've never seen Susan say, like, any of the microaggressions of, like, this is a space where you don't belong, and I'm going to demonstrate that to you. I've never seen Susan, like, not be excited, truthfully, to, like, explain something or, like, to push someone a little farther in a way that feels safe rather than a way that feels like I know more than you do.
If there is a problem, Susan will think of a lot of different solutions. Susan will run around the whole place, ask anybody who might have more information, and always comes back with an answer for the customer.
one of the things I love most about mathematics is the problem solving, the kind of puzzle aspect of it, really using creative thinking skills within the confines of a structure to kind of get to some solution or some knowledge. And bike mechanics can really be like that. We all know how a bike works, but how you're getting there, the techniques you're using, is all up to you, but within the confines of the bicycle itself. It's got that both a level of subjectivity to how you're approaching it, but an objectivity to where you end up. And I would say math is very much the same way, where there's a subjectiveness to your approach, but an objectiveness to your conclusion, which I find really satisfying. Every day, we're opening up opportunities and like trying to be as accessible as possible to absolutely everyone. That is so important to me. that we're providing the community with resources. And you know, we're a bike shop and we're a regular bike shop, but at the same time we're also like a charitable organization. So people who need transportation, we can get that to them. That makes such a huge difference in someone's life. I worked on a bike match bike with a woman who was living in a shelter. If your bike's not working, that's like, what else can you do? Like, Boston's a walkable city, but like, if you have appointments to get to, if you need to pick your kid up, like, it's important, and a car is just not an option. Being able to make such a tangible difference really speaks to me. When you have a community that really cares about each other like that, not just like in our general community, but even like our community of staff that really care about each other, it makes it just a better place to work when we're all like looking out for each other and trying to make each other's lives easier. The like acceptance and welcoming of like marginalized groups, that's huge. That is so important to me. That's like the vibe that's going on at my place of work. Because I think all those things also lead into having a good vibe with the people that you're with. Like people who have similar values in terms of like human rights. Is like so important. I mean, I want to be proud of what I'm doing and who I'm doing it with and who I'm doing it for, you know? So I think for all those reasons is really, it's like, it gives me a high standard for wherever I'm at next.
I also want to thank Gary and Lindsay for all of your hard work putting together such a wonderful video. We truly make it our mission to go beyond the bike. Our next speaker is Abeo, who is the Youth Development and Transitions Manager at Bikes Not Bombs. In this role, Abeo works closely with our youth apprentices, helping them develop important skills and gain meaningful experience through Bikes Not Bombs' youth pathways. Abeo is going to moderate a panel of our current youth associates and apprentices, Derek, Romeo, and Joseph. With her extensive experience in youth development and her deep understanding of the challenges that face young people today, Abeo is uniquely qualified to lead this important discussion. Please put your hands together for our amazing panel.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So again, I'm Abeo Powder. I'm the Youth Development and Transitions Manager here at this organization, and I've had the pleasure of working alongside, this is a team effort, alongside our youth apprentices and associates, supporting them in their career development and also their overall development. So if you can do us the honor of introducing yourselves, tell us your name, pronouns, your year, and program area.
My name is Romeo Pelletier, in pronouns. I am a bike shop youth apprentice in my 3rd year.
My name is Derek Marterelli. I go by he, him. I'm in my 2nd year and I'm with BOCA.
Joseph Pires, he, him, BOCA apprentice, and I'm in my 5th year.
Clap it up for our young folks. Alright, so my first question is, what is a favorite memory or inspiring story you have about Bikes Not Bombs?
Okay, I have 2 actually. So first favorite memory of mine at Bikes Not Bombs was in my first summer here. It was the summer of 2020. The shop had just ordered some pizza for the new youth apprentices. We were all sitting out on the loading dock, we were watching the sunset, chatting. Some of us were like riding bikes in the parking lot. And yeah, I got to know my fellow youth apprentices a lot better that day, and it definitely increased my connection with the B&B community. My other favorite B&B memory was when I did the 100-mile bike-a-thon, which was insane. A few other apprentices and I decided to just do it to take on the challenge, because why not? We said that we would do all types of like long practice rides, really get prepared for biking 100 miles, and we did not. Not a single practice ride. Race day came, and we were like, well, you know, here we are, we're just gonna do it. And it was insane. It was incredibly difficult. It's easily one of the hardest things I've done in my life so far, but in the end I did have a lot of fun doing it. I'm very glad I did, and it's a great story to tell.
So my most memorable moment with Bikes Not Bombs is actually something that was over a week or 2. It's when I brought in one of my only bike at the time, and it was a Walmart bike, horrible. And from that moment then I was offered to build up one of my own bikes with the shop's resources, and then it became one of the bikes that I love the most?
I think one of my best memories at Bikes Not Bombs was being asked to speak for the first Ride for Black Lives. You know, that sense of being, I had never spoken before. I want to reiterate that. I've never spoken before, so being considered to even do something of that level, to just be asked like, hey, we know you like poems, and we would like you to speak at this ride for us. And so, you know, having that sense of people being able to know who I am, knowing what my skills are, just from being around me, for them to be like, hey, we think you'd be a very good candidate to speak at this ride for us. It was very special to know that people were thinking of me in that way. And so, you know, getting to speak and having that support, especially for my first time, having that support at the ride, where, you know, I paused a couple times, I had to take a couple breaths, wipe some sweat off of my face. People just sat there and they waited for me to speak because they felt that what I was saying was very important. And I felt like I had that spotlight in the community to just share what I was thinking at the time and speak for the little man, so to speak.
Thank you all for sharing. Something that I noticed with your responses is the mention and the importance of community. In terms of building our community, growing our community, our youth apprentice community, what advice would you give to youth who are thinking about working at Bikes Not Bombs?
I would highly recommend working there for any youth, even if they're not particularly interested in bikes. That's mainly because B&B has taught me so much more than just how to work on a bike. I've been in a bike shop for 3 years. I've learned how to connect and work with others in my time in the shop and also my time teaching in the bike school. I've learned a lot more about myself. I've made huge developments in my character with such a dynamic experience here. Yeah, overall it's been so much more than just the average high school job. You know, not like bagging groceries or something, and getting all types of experiences here. And I feel very lucky for that, to have spent so much time here, and I think any other youth would be as well.
Yeah, stemming off of what Romeo said, it is a really good job to get to know many different things that can go on, from teaching to being able to work on bikes and understanding mechanics. I've learned through myself that not only do I understand how bikes work, but it's also easier to understand how other mechanical things work. So I would definitely say, for anyone who is truly interested in learning, it is the perfect job for them, and even if not, it really helps connect you to the community.
Yeah, and just to echo my colleagues, it is a learning experience. Throughout your time being there, you will learn your strengths, and you will learn that there is no weakness potent enough to overcome education. And so you'll never be hard pressed to look around and find someone with the answer. All you have to do is ask questions. And so I would highly advise anyone thinking about doing it to do it. I've created lifelong friends, some of them sitting next to me here, some of them who aren't even in this room. But it is a very unique experience. It's not just a job that will pass you by. You will definitely take something from it, no matter what it is. And so that's the advice and what I would give to someone who's thinking about working.
Thank you. While so much of what's done here starts with the bike and goes beyond it, I want to bring it back to the bike specifically. In terms of biking safety, do you feel safe biking in Boston? Why or why not?
I would say I do, but only because I've been doing it for a long time. I would say in general, Boston is not a very safe biking city as it is right now. Definitely some improvements have been made that I've noticed. You know, they have a lot of protected bike lanes, like on Columbus, there's some downtown as well. But there's still a lot to be done. It's not a safe biking city by any means. And so especially for those who have less experience biking in the city, it can be very dangerous. And that first super stressful ride where it feels like your life is on the line, that can turn people away from biking altogether. So that's obviously not something we want, so there's a lot we have to do to make Boston much more bike friendly.
Yeah, I 100% agree with what Romeo said. Boston is definitely not the best infrastructure for biking. For someone who's new to biking, it would not be really safe. But I've been biking for a good amount of time, so I feel safe despite being hit by a car, but that's just because drivers are ignorant sometimes. But despite that, I still do feel safe just because I have a good amount of experience. But for people who don't, I would understand not feeling safe because it's definitely not built for bikers.
I'd say the only reason, again echoing my colleagues, the only reason I feel safe biking most times is because I had the pleasure of riding with Bikes Not Bombs for my first time, riding on the streets. So I got to learn what to look for and what to avoid. And then even becoming a driver, having that mentality, looking for those things, looking for if a car is inching forward and they see you coming by, they're not going to think you're moving fast enough, so they're just going to go. Even when you're riding past plazas, you have cars sticking their nose out into the lane waiting to go, and it's very difficult. And I would say even the road surfaces, so often the bike lanes are cut off to the right, and that is usually where buses stop and go over that road surface, and so it becomes very difficult as the roads chip away, and there's potholes and cracks everywhere. I would say if you are thinking of riding in the city, definitely get that experience, learn what to look for, and ride as a group first and foremost, and then as you learn, you can ride by yourself and learn how to be more safe as a rider.
Thank you for sharing. Bike safety and accessibility is crucial to the work that's done here through our community organizing efforts that target these issues and more. That's highlighted in our BOCA programming, which again stands for Bicyclists Organizing for Community Action. And so in thinking about that programming and thinking about your impact, how do you feel you've become a leader at the organization or helped it become more efficient?
I've learned a lot about leadership during my time teaching the bike school, which was last year. It was my first experience regularly teaching a class and holding the responsibility of other people's learning. And that was very new for me. It was a great experience, and it gave me a new angle on education in general, because I've always been on the other side of that during my time in high school. Even before that, I helped improve B&B by setting up the Roxbury location for its first ever class. A couple other coworkers and I painted all the walls, we put down all the floor tiles, built up all the benches and the furniture and everything. And then we taught that first program that was there. And after doing that, it did feel like I was positively impacting B&B's expansion into new neighborhoods, and also positively impacting the students and their communities.
Yeah, for me, I would definitely say that a big part of my impact would be somewhere along the lines of bike school. While we were doing bike school during last summer, I was not only helping to teach bike school, but I was also helping to teach the youth apprentices that were in bike school. So I would say that my impact is making sure that they know the mechanics that they still have now to this very day. And then also another recent impact that I've had is with BOCA and having to do the BOCA component of bike school. So just helping with myself and Josephine, helping bike school figure out what they're really passionate about and how they can help their community.
I think where I really became a leader again was from those community rides that we were doing in the summer. Apart from speaking, I actually got the chance to be a ride marshal for the first time at a ride 2 or 3 years ago, and it was only because of the absence of an adult who was really doing the ride marshaling at the time. But I had exhibited through working with bike school, I had exhibited that expertise of being a ride leader, again, learning what to look for, and also, having enough speed to get from the back of the pack back up to the front and, block those intersections. And I think that's the best part about being in certain leadership roles is when, you don't have those official titles, but people are around you enough to see how good you are at doing certain things and put you in those positions where you can, exhibit that expertise and that prior knowledge. I think that's one of the most unique things about being a leader at Bikes Not Bombs.
Thank you all so much for sharing your time with us. These are our current leaders inspiring the next generation of leaders. Thank you all so much.
As we all know, transportation is an essential aspect of modern life, enabling us access to education, employment, healthcare, social activities. However, for many people, especially young people, especially people living in low-income neighborhoods or communities of color, barriers to transportation are barriers to opportunity. Which brings us to the topic of our keynote speaker. It is my honor to introduce Charles T. Brown, the founder and CEO of Equitable Cities, a leading research firm focused at the intersection of transportation, health, and equity. Charles is also a professor at Rutgers University School of Planning and Public Policy and has authored several national and local studies that have redefined how experts analyze the role of race and racism in transportation and mobility. He was recently awarded the 2023 National Highway Traffic Safety Administration's Public Service Award, the 2022 Bicycle Friendly America Leadership Award by the League of American Bicyclists, and the 2022 Streets Block USA Transportation Hero Award. We are extremely lucky to have Charles here with us today, where he's going to share some groundbreaking work on the critical issue of arrested mobility. And we're so thrilled to explore how we can work together to create a more equitable and sustainable transportation system. Let's give Charles a nice warm welcome.
Also, please give it up for the youth. I mean, you all are very courageous to be here. And then lastly, give it up for my family sacrificing by not having me home on this morning. So today I want to, in the time we have, discuss arrested mobility, the importance of centering racial equity in transportation access and mobility. It is an absolute honor and pleasure to be here with you. I heard a lot of the concerns you all have regarding biking, regarding access, etc. I can tell you as an outsider, you have a beautiful city. This is a beautiful venue. And it's great to see the level of diversity that is present here today. It can always be better, but I think this is an outstanding showing of support for Bikes Not Bomb and all the work that you all are doing collectively. So give yourselves a hand one more time.
Charles, thank you so much for being here. You have so much to offer, and we have so much to learn, and we're just grateful that you were able to spend some time with us. Let's give him a nice round of applause. Quick time check. We are going to go a little bit over, probably till 15 after, and I just wanted to give you a heads up. We have just a couple more speakers, and then I will close. It is my pleasure now to introduce you to Elise Oliver, our Director of Youth Programs at Bikes Not Bomb. Elise is a passionate advocate for youth development and social justice. As the Director of Youth Pathways, Elise oversees Bikes Not Bomb's youth employment programming, which means she hires and onboards all of our youth apprentices and leads the team that supports them while they're here at Bikes Not Bombs and beyond. Under Elise's leadership, Bikes Not Bombs has expanded its reach and impact over the last year, hiring more young adults than ever before. This year we'll be working with over 40 youth this summer in our programming, which is incredible. Today, Elise will be introducing the recipient of Bikes Not Bombs' 2023 Alumni Award, an individual who has demonstrated outstanding commitment to social justice and who embodies the values of Bikes Not Bombs. Please welcome Elise Oliver.
It is with great pleasure and honor that I stand before you today to present an esteemed young individual with our prestigious Alumni Award. In just 1 minute, let me share with you why she is so deserving of this recognition. Anna exemplifies what it means to be a positive role model within our Bikes Not Bombs community. Her infectious enthusiasm, her unwavering dedication and support of her peers have made her an inspiration to us all. Her uplifting presence has helped continue to create a nurturing environment for growth and learning, where everyone feels encouraged to strive for their own personal excellence. But what truly sets Anna apart is her willingness to take risks and embrace new challenges. She has fearlessly stepped outside of her comfort zone in work and in life, tackling complex projects and venturing into new uncharted territories. Anna has shown us that true growth comes from embracing the unknown and challenges that come with it. Today, I am honored to present Anna Zuniga with the Bikes Not Bombs 2023 Distinguished Alumni Award. Her journey serves as a shining example of what can be achieved through passion, hard work, and fearless pursuit of excellence. To Anna, thank you for being an exceptional role model, for taking risks, and embracing new challenges. Your unwavering dedication and support and positive spirit has left an undeniable mark on our community, and it's with an immense pride that I present to you this well-deserved honor. Congratulations.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction. Hello, my name is Anna Zuniga, and I'm a rising sophomore at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, studying Industrial Systems Engineering and Communications. I worked at Bikes Not Bombs for a little over 2 years during my junior and senior years of high school, and I'm coming back for the summer. Bikes Not Bombs, to me, has been a home. I learned a lot working with the organization and really value the time I put in. When I was first looking for a job at the end of my sophomore year, B&B sparked my attention because I knew of their great work. I started in the shop and then later helped teach in the bike school programs. Over time, I fell in love with mechanics, leading me into the world of engineering. I had already loved studying math and physics in school, but being able to actually see and work with these concepts in practical use helped lead me to my current work. I am an engineering nerd through and through. As I recently wrapped up my first year in college, I realized how much B&B served as a guide for me. Studying the physics and math behind engineering is important, but because I worked so much with the actual systems of the bike, I understood real applications of what I was studying in school. In 2023, I began working with the program Engineering Ambassadors, a program in which college engineering students visit elementary and high schools, engaging younger youth with engineering topics. I wouldn't have gravitated towards such an organization if it wasn't for the instructional work I did with B&B. Helping to teach bike school showed me that engineering does not start in the classroom, but rather kids like to learn through hands-on, meaningful activities. Engineering is a necessary field that few younger kids are fully aware of. In B&B Bike School, we taught participants how to use tools for the first time and to understand the mechanics of their bike, making the whole experience more enjoyable and worthwhile. When students have the goal of taking their bike and using it at home, there's an emotional connection. Riding their bike and thinking, oh, I made this, makes it so much more rewarding. I know that for myself, I call my 2 bikes my children because of the time and the effort I put into finding parts and building them up. Riding to work on my little blue Bianchi that I built makes it so much more empowering, and that is what the bike school programs are able to give. Beyond my understanding of engineering, B&B taught me how to work, lead, and take action in my community. Like many youth apprentices, it was my first real job, which itself is a huge step. Before I worked at B&B, I never had to do a timesheet or report to an actual boss. Over time, I learned what it means to be a good employee, helping me for future jobs. B&B is an enjoyable and rewarding first job, one in which youth apprentices feel that we can learn and develop. Relatively quickly into my time working, I was given more responsibilities than I originally thought I could handle. I took a leading role in Sisters in Action, one of the bike school classes, which was a daunting task. With more responsibility and coworkers encouraging me, I was able to step up in the organization, helping me become more assured of myself and my abilities. I learned how to teach others what I was learning and how to properly communicate difficult concepts in understandable ways. Last but not least, Bikes Not Bombs taught me what it means to engage with my community, both on and off the bike. Last summer I worked with BOCA, the Bicyclists Organizing for Community Action, which is the civic education and engagement branch of the organization. Through my time in BOCA, I got to explore important causes in Boston and my ability to affect change. We operated Chain Reaction, a free mobile bike repair service we would set up at farmers markets, like the one in Eggleston Square and Mattapan, with the idea of meeting people and promoting sustainability through transportation. Working in community outreach, the part of the organization I had the least experience with, helped strengthen my communication and outreach skills, allowing me to grow my presence in the entire Boston cyclist community. With BOCA, a group of youth apprentices and I organized and led community rides to advance the message behind racial equity, namely the Ride for Black Lives. Beyond selling bikes and teaching mechanics, BNB's core values center around equity for all cyclists, and I feel lucky that I got to participate in this great work. Overall, Bikes Not Bombs has a special place in my heart. I've met wonderful people, fellow employees, customers, bike school participants. In every sector of the organization, people want to help you learn and be the best version of yourself. As I pursue a career in industrial engineering and work towards completing my college degree, I'm thrilled to continue this connection. The strong sense of community and learning opportunities has always been so joyful. I vividly remember a particular moment during the winter of my junior year when COVID had peaked and school and activities were all online. With most of my life taking place at my house, working here remained an essential physical space for me. Due to concerns for my health, my family discussed if I should take a break from working. However, the support and the friendships that I found within the BNB community acted as a lifeline during these uncertain times. The strong sense of community not only helped me navigate through challenging circumstances, but also reinforced my passion for being part of the organization. As I reflect on my time here, I'm incredibly grateful for the experience and connections it has brought me. I look forward to continuing my journey with Bikes Not Bombs, contributing to its mission and making a positive impact alongside the incredible individuals who have inspired me along the way. Thank you.
Shout out to you again, Anna. Congratulations. It's been amazing to see your growth over the years, and I have to say, excited that you're working with us again this summer. Let's hear it for Anna again. Our next and final speaker before we close, so I'll come back up and close, is Lina Canyon. Lina is a dedicated social activist, an accomplished professional in the nonprofit sector, and a board member at Bikes Not Bombs. As a graduate of Bikes Not Bombs' bike school, Lina has a deep understanding of the transformative power of bicycles, and she's been actively involved in promoting sustainable and equitable transportation in her community at the Dorchester Bike Kitchen. Shout out DBK. Currently, Lina serves as the Director of Finance and Operations at the Chica Project, a nonprofit that empowers young Latino women to achieve their full potential. And it's through this work that Lina serves as a passionate leader, making a meaningful difference every day in the lives of others. Please welcome Lina Canyon.
I will make it quick because I know we are out of time. But I am a current board member and a proud graduate of the Sisters in Actions program. And you've heard a lot today about the history of that organization, the work being done, the folks leading in the work and getting their hands dirty or greasy, and the impact that it has, not just on individuals, but on our communities as well. I'm sure some of you have seen the changes in the city. Stories like building new bike lanes, giving incentives to ride blue bikes, You've heard stories today like that of Anna, who, by the way, taught me everything I know, and helped me build my baby. So that is low-key, she really did teach me everything I know. You've heard about our plans for expansion, you've heard about partnerships that we are forging, and you also heard about the shared language that we can now use when we talk about equity. And although progress is being made on all levels, we still see and feel gaps that exist, whether it be access, education, whether it be safety or equity that deeply impacts us. And although Bikes Not Bombs has taken the responsibility of spearheading bridging these gaps, it actually does require every single one of us to contribute to this work. It takes every one of us to understand, to advocate, and to invest in order for us to achieve continuous impact. The longevity of the work is rooted in a commitment by the community, and the community involves all of us. And by commitment, I don't mean just y'all being here today. That's just the start. Just because you buy a bike or you build a bike doesn't mean you are committed to that bike. It takes you giving it some TLC. You have to take care of it. You have to tune it up. You have to give it some love. And then the bike will run. And it will not only run, it will hold you, it will carry you, and it will do that smoothly. And that is how I want you to envision your commitment to Bikes Not Bombs. An ongoing one that will ensure the long-term success and impact of this organization, but also allowing it to run and hold and carry us smoothly. Today, we are asking folks to make a multi-year investment that will ensure that the focus of our team is rooted in carrying our mission and not trying to figure out how to hold it financially and sustain it financially. We are asking you to make a multi-year investment so that we can open up the wait list that we have on all of our amazing bike programs, so that we can expand our programs to our global partners who are waiting for our work to come to their communities. Are y'all ready? Before I ask the table captains to pass out the pledge sheets, I also have an announcement. One of our longtime partners and supporters has made a challenge gift, meaning that he will make a $10,000 gift to Bikes Not Bombs if someone else here will match that today. No pressure, no pressure. Now, if the table captains could please pass out the pledge sheets and envelopes. As these go around, I want to remind you all that Bikes Not Bombs really is rooted in equity. And so that means that we understand that although financial support is what makes this run, we know that everybody's giving level is different. With that said, it's not about how much you are investing, it's about the length of your investment. I want y'all here for a good time, but also for a long time, okay? And before Drake coined that, let me just tell y'all, it came from the 1970s, so I need to make that. So when you are done with your pledge sheet, please give the envelope to your table captains. As you are still writing, I also want to highlight one point. And this point can go unsaid because I know you feel it here, but I will bring it up and highlight it. That is that we, the board, we, the team, we, the community, are rooted in gratitude. We are grateful for your presence. We are grateful for your commitment. We are grateful for your partnership, your commitment to learning and unlearning. And we hope that you stay in touch, that we see you at the bike-a-thon, at volunteer nights, at the bike shop, or at the hub. Mil gracias.
As you all are filling out your pledge sheets, I'm gonna help bring us to a close. I want to say thank you to everyone in this room for joining us today. Thank you to Charles T. Brown. Thank you to Romeo, Joseph, Derek, Anna, Gary, Lindsay, Elise, Abeo, all of you that spoke today. Thank you to our staff, our board, our volunteers, with a special shout out to Angela and the development team. The work that they put in this year really helped us level up this experience. So I want to say thank you. This has been a truly inspiring morning full of insights into Bikes Not Bombs' impact and our vision for the future. We're actually about halfway through our 5-year strategic plan. And now we'd like to share a few goals about what we're hoping to achieve in the future. We hope to further expand bicycle partnerships to increase access to bicycles and bike maintenance, which we've already started to do. We formed incredible partnerships with Children's Services of Roxbury, Boston Public Schools, the Department of Youth Services, right here in our front row, thank you. And we're just getting started. There's so many different partners that reach out to us, both locally and beyond the greater Boston area, that want to start their own bicycle program. We hope to formalize certification in advanced bicycle mechanics training in partnership with a school like Madison Park or Benjamin Franklin, now called the Franklin Cummings Tech. Becoming the only regional option to prepare folks to work in the bike industry. Right now, there's nothing in this area, and we hope to fill that gap. We want to further expand mobile bike repair to neighborhoods without a bike shop, with an emphasis on Roxbury, Mattapan, and Dorchester. If we want to keep people on bikes, they're going to need a convenient place to get it repaired. And they're going to need skilled mechanics that they can trust. And finally, we hope to grow our international partnerships. Yes, we still do international development work since our founding in 1984. We want to focus on the Caribbean, but really without limitation because the need is just that great. We continue to receive requests from people all throughout the world who have the drive, the interest, and the ideas. They just need the bikes, the technical training, and the support to make it happen. We actually have a container loading next week that'll be sent off to Nairobi, Kenya. Our partner, Cycleville, out there, they support a network of bike shops, and the bikes that we send them really make an impact. So if you're around and interested in getting involved immediately, feel free to check out our website for more information. And Gary Chin, you can reach out to him and he'll put you on the schedule for volunteering. All of this work represents work that we've done for decades. Furthermore, there's a clear mandate for our work to go beyond, to expand beyond what we're already doing. The mayor has set an ambitious goal that every young person in the city has access to a bike and knows how to ride it. That's amazing. We want to make sure those riders have confidence and they feel safe riding the streets. So hopefully we can do something about that. The bike industry is desperately looking for a diverse pool of skilled mechanics to fill vacant jobs, including at our own bike shop. Our neighbors are asking for learn to ride programs, affordable bike repair, increased bike infrastructure, and inclusive bike communities. And finally, our young people are asking for opportunities to work in meaningful jobs, to grow as leaders, to impact their communities, their own communities, and to be seen for who they are and what they're capable of achieving. Bike Stop Bombs is uniquely positioned to respond to this mandate, but we can't do this work alone, as Lena said. Changing the status quo takes a village. We rely on the support of individuals just like you to help us grow and deepen our impact. Your multi-year support will enable us to do that. So we invite you to join us in this effort to create meaningful change, if you're not already involved. And if you are involved, get more involved. There's plenty of things to help out with. We're building a movement, and we know from history that movements are built from the ground up, led by people who understand the real needs that our communities face, who are brave enough to challenge the status quo, and who are willing to come together to build a vision for the future. Together, we can create a world where bicycles are not just a means of transportation, but a tool for transformation. Thank you all so much for being a part of this movement. We look forward to partnering with you. Thank you.